In this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to qualify for the solo series. But just before we get into that, I do have a coaching Discord server. It's completely free to join and I'll leave the link to it down below. So first, let's explain the format of this tournament. If you guys don't know, the solo series is basically a mini solo FNCS and it will be taking place right after the Global Championships. There is 6 weeks of open qualifiers where anybody can play, and your 4 best weeks across those 6 will count to qualify you for the finals. And the finals will be the top 100 players in each region. Now, the format for these open qualifiers is 60 points for a win and 2 points for a kill. It's the exact same as the solo cash cups we had a couple of seasons ago. So now we know the format and what you need to qualify. How should you actually play the game? Now, the first thing to talk about is your drop spot. Mythic drop spots are so overpowered this season. The Hive, Demon's Debris, and Ranger's Ruin, all 3 of these are really good. And the main reason is A, the mythics and the medallions, and B is the bunkers that you can get into by reaching that A rank. Now, the fastest way to actually get A rank is, of course, taking out the boss at these POIs. So if you're really good at off-spawn fighting, I'd recommend you land at one of these mythic POIs. If you're not the best off-spawn fighter or you just don't want to land at a POI, then split drops are still really good in this solo meta. Any split with like 10 or more chests will work. Just make sure you can get a decent amount of loot and 555 on your materials. The next thing to talk about is your loadout. There is 3 main type of loadouts that you can carry this season. The first one is the W key loadout. This is going to be a double pump loadout. So first you want the Sentinel pump, then you want the revolver shotgun, and then of course crash pads and 2 slots of heals. I'd recommend you take Flowberry Fizz as one of those heals, as it helps a lot with mobility, and if you're keying, you can pop Fizz and then crash pad and just land on people's heads. The second loadout is the placement loadout. This is for the more passive players who don't want a W key and you just want to play for endgame. This is a single gun loadout, and the only gun you're going to take is the revolver shotgun. And that is because this revolver is really good. You can use it close range for shotgun fights. You can also use it at a mid-range distance, maybe for sneaking on people or just getting kills in endgame. This gun is really good. Then alongside that, you want crash pads and 3 slots of heals. Now, the final loadout is just a normal loadout: shotgun, AR, crash pads, and 2 slots of heals. What is the perfect playstyle to actually qualify? Now, I'd highly recommend that in your first game, you W key. Try and get about 15 or 20 kills and make sure you win that first game. If you're not the best at fighting, then in your first game, you should just play for the win. Try and get a couple of kills here and there. Try and go for like a 5 to 10 kill win. It is really easy in that first game just to kill people when they're rotating, especially in endgame. Everybody's scuffed and it's just really easy kills. So after you've had a good first game, now you just want to play consistent, play for endgame. You can actually play 7 endgames in a 3-hour tournament. So try and play consistent and make sure you get all of those endgames. Now, when you're playing for endgame, only take fights where you have an advantage. What I mean by this is if you have a damage advantage, maybe you shoot them and then you key them. Maybe you have a high ground advantage, a better position than them. Anything like that. If you have an advantage, then you can take a fight. If you don't have an advantage and it's just an even playing field, then unless you really need the loot or the refresh, it's not really worth it to take those fights. Just try and play for the end game and play consistent. Now, if you do fall behind on points, you're not on pace to qualify anymore, then the best thing you can do is W key in low elo to catch up on points. Especially with it being 2 points per kill, it's quite easy to drop a big game and catch up on those points that you need. Now let's talk about practice and the best ways that you can practice for the upcoming tournaments. The first thing is scrims. This is as realistic as it will get to the actual tournament. I want you guys to practice landing at your drop spot, practice your game plan and your end games in these scrims. The next thing to work on is off spawns. If you have a creator code, then you can jump into customs and practice your off spawns there. If not, then you can just jump into some ranked games and practice it there. The next thing to play is 1v1 realistics. This is going to help you with fighting. You're going to practice your mechanics, build your fighting IQ, and build up some confidence as well. The next thing to work on is end games, and the best way to practice is tournament late game. This is a creative map where you can practice so many end games, each one lasting only like 4 to 5 minutes, which means you can practice about like 15 different end games in just 1 hour. This is like a realistic tournament end game with comp loadouts and stuff, so it's really good practice, and you guys should definitely check it out. And the final thing to practice is W keying in solo ranked. This is going to help you with in-game fighting. You're going to come across lots of different opponents, lots of different fighting styles, and you're just going to build on your fighting skills, and you're going to become a really good fighter by doing this. So those are the 5 main things I would practice before the solo series starts. Thank you guys so much for sticking around until the end of the video. If you're interested in a private one-to-one coaching session with me, then you can check out the first link down in the description.